There have been 13 former MVP quarterbacks that moved on to another team since the award was created in 1957. Some went on to a prolific second chapter, others not so much. 2015 MVP Cam Newton signed with New England just months after three-time MVP Tom Brady bid farewell to the Pats in favor of Tampa Bay. The 2020 Patriots are the first team in NFL history to lose an MVP quarterback and replace him with another MVP quarterback in the same offseason.
Newton, quarterback draw, diving into the end zone for the touchdown. He really was Superman on that play.
Will Cam return to his 2015 form? Will Brady win a seventh ring? We'll get those questions answered in the coming months. But rewind 8 years to 2012. After a neck injury sidelined four-time MVP Peyton Manning in 2011, the Colts moved on to #1 overall pick Andrew Luck. In turn, Manning would become one of the most sought-after free agents in NFL history. John Elway and the Broncos finally got the deal done, which proved to be well worth the effort. All Manning did was win 79% of his games, advance to 2 Super Bowls, winning one of them, and set NFL single-season records for passing yards and touchdowns in 2013.
Manning lets it fly. There's the record for Peyton Manning. 51 touchdowns, the new single-season mark.
Manning is the only player in league history to win MVP awards with 2 different teams. He's also one of 2 former MVP quarterbacks to start a Super Bowl with another team. We'll get to the other guy a little later. Packers legend Brett Favre won 3 consecutive MVP awards in the mid-90s, the only player in NFL history to accomplish that feat. But after a back-and-forth retirement saga, Green Bay finally moved on to future superstar Aaron Rodgers. As a result, Favre was traded to the New York Jets in 2008, where he threw a league-high 22 interceptions. But the ageless gunslinger wasn't quite finished. In 2009, Favre signed with the Vikings, creating awkward feelings for all Packer fans. Favre put on a show, throwing for over 4,000 yards with a 33-7 touchdown-to-interception ratio.
Everybody out. Favre rolls. Wants to throw deep and does. To the end zone for Greg Lewis. Touchdown! Touchdown! Favre did it!
At the age of 40, Favre led the Vikings all the way to the NFC Championship game before calling it a career the following season. Steve McNair split the MVP with Peyton Manning in 2003. McNair leads the Titans franchise in all-time wins by a quarterback. He led the team to its first Super Bowl appearance in 1999, but after a Pro Bowl season in 2005, McNair was traded to Baltimore, where he captained a 13-3 season in 2006. At the time, the most wins in a season in Ravens history.
At the 27-yard line, Warner to throw. Going deep downfield, adjusting for it is Isaac Bruce, and Isaac Bruce threads his way for a touchdown.
We mentioned Manning as the second former MVP quarterback to start a Super Bowl with a different team. The first was Kurt Warner, who won 2 MVP awards and a Super Bowl, orchestrating the greatest show on turf. In 2004, Warner was released by the Rams and then signed with the Giants before watching rookie Eli Manning take the reins in New York. It would all work out, however, as Warner found new life in the desert. After supplanting Matt Leinart for the QB job, Warner tossed 83 touchdowns in his final 3 seasons with the Cardinals. His 2008 campaign should be considered among the biggest surprises of the decade, as he led Arizona to an exhilarating playoff run in its first Super Bowl appearance.
Here's a little throwback to Warner going downfield for Fitzgerald. Covered by Demps, and Fitzgerald makes the play for the touchdown.
Boomer Esiason is the only quarterback on this list that changed teams on 3 different occasions. The 1988 NFL MVP was traded from the Bengals to the Jets in 1993. Boomer made the Pro Bowl that season, but failed to reach the same success he had in Cincy. Esiason went 15-27 as a starter and had a passer rating below 80 over 3 seasons with New York. He went on to join the Cardinals, though, as a free agent in 1996, producing a 522-yard passing performance out of nowhere in Week 11.
Esiason throws deep down the sideline. The reception is made by Dowdell, and he will score.
Esiason would finally end up back in Cincinnati, where he threw 13 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions in 5 games, relieving the injured Jeff Blake. 2-time MVP and 4-time Super Bowl winner Joe Montana was traded from San Francisco to Kansas City in 1993. After an injury-riddled stretch in the early 90s, the 49ers replaced Montana with Steve Young. The Chiefs flourished with their new quarterback, making the playoffs in each of Montana's 2 seasons there. Joe Cool went 17-8 as a starter, winning 2 playoff games as well as a Monday Night Football classic against John Elway's Broncos in 1994.
He throws to the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown.
Lord, you can take me now. I've seen it all.
1976 MVP Burt Jones played his first 9 seasons with the Baltimore Colts. But following a prolific stretch in the mid-70s, Jones and the Colts fell off the radar. A 2-13 record as starter in 1981 forced Jones' eventual trade to the LA Rams in 1982. There, he played in just 4 games before calling it a career.
Stabler rolling to the left. He's going to go. Runs it in. Kenny Stabler, touchdown Oakland.
Hall of Famer Ken Stabler is considered one of the greatest quarterbacks in Raiders history. He delivered time and again with plays like the ghost to the post and sea of hands. The Snake won MVP in 1974, throwing a league-high 26 touchdown passes. But after down seasons in 78 and 79, the Raiders traded Stabler to the Oilers. There, the legendary quarterback sunk into mediocrity, throwing 46 interceptions in 2 seasons. Stabler's final stop would be in New Orleans, where he played 3 seasons, throwing 17 touchdowns and 33 picks. The Rams sent 1969 MVP Roman Gabriel to Philadelphia in 1973. Gabriel went on to have his greatest statistical season that year, leading the league in passing yards and touchdowns. His overall team success, though, failed to match his heights in LA. With the Rams, Gabriel won 66% of his starts from 1966 to 1972. He won just 32% of his starts in 4 seasons in Philly.
United goes back to throw. Fires long. Into the end zone. It's complete.
One of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, Johnny Unitas engineered countless moments for Colts fans throughout the 50s and 60s. The 2-time MVP retired as the league's all-time passing leader, but not before a quick stint with the San Diego Chargers. As Baltimore deployed a youth movement in 1973, they said goodbye to the 40-year-old Unitas, sending him out west. Unitas started 4 games, winning 1 in the powder blue. And finally, how about Earl Morrall's story? After bouncing around the league on 4 teams early in his career, Morrall landed in Baltimore as Unitas' backup in 1968. When Johnny U went down in the preseason, Morrall led the Colts to a 13-1 record, added 2 playoff wins and a trip to Super Bowl III en route to the 1968 MVP award. Morrall then signed with the Dolphins in 1972, where he replaced an injured Bob Greasy in Week 5. Just as he'd done with the Colts, Morrall led the offense, delivering a perfect 9-0 record as Miami went on to finish the only undefeated season in NFL history.